Hi guys, welcome. In today's video we will learn how to create a jar and how to run a jar file in Java via command line. Okay, so without further delay, let's get started. So as part of this, we need to have a basic setup. So I'll take you through my setup. So I'm using the IDE. You can use any IDE of your choice. So in this, I'm having a very basic two Java files. One is my main component, which is having the main method, and it is having one method which is just printing a sys out. Okay, this is my second component, which is also having a test method, which is doing just the printing. Okay, so and in the main method I am creating an object of my main component and my second component, and I'm calling their respective methods. So this is a first component method and this is the second component method. So if we run through the IDE, we can simply click on run, and we are getting this all the print statements, right? So, and if you see the target folder, so this is my output folder. It has been configured in my project structure. So you will get the .class files of these Java files, right? But here we want to learn via the command line. Okay, so for that purpose, we'll delete this target folder. Now we'll go to our terminal. We'll first check whether our Java is proper or not. We'll just check the Java version. So our Java is proper. Now first thing what we need to learn, how to compile these two .class files, how to compile our Java files to .class files. So you have seen it when I ran this file, we created the .class files, right? So what we will do, we will use the Java C command and we'll navigate to src main Java folder, because our main class is in src main Java. Okay, and star dot Java files. So this means all the files under this folder which is having a .java extension should be compiled. Okay, if you press this, what do you get? So you will get the .class files. Now we are getting the .class file, but .class files is getting created inside my main folder itself. So where my Java folder is there, in the same folder we are having the .class file. So let's delete this. So we want this as a separate. So like since I have configured my output folder as my target and classes, so I was getting my compiled output in that folder, right? So how to do via command line that thing as well. So we can write down the same command and we'll give the -d option and we'll give our directory. Okay, let's give the name test jar dir. Okay, so what does it mean? So we'll compile all the Java files present in src main Java to the directory test jar -dir. Okay, so now I ran this command. So now you see .class file is getting created inside this folder. Okay, so this was part one. So we successfully compiled it, which is fine, right? Now we'll just see the folder structure right now. So we'll navigate to test jar dir, because we have to do all our stuff from this folder itself. Okay, now we'll clear it. Now the first thing what we need to do, we need to create a jar out of it. Okay, so what is the basic command for creating the jar is jar cf. What is meant by cf? That we are creating a file. Okay, creating a file with a name. I'll name it component dot jar. So I am giving my jar should be created with the name component dot jar, and these are my .class file star dot class. So since I am present in the same folder, so I'm just giving star dot class. Okay, now if you see, my component dot jar is created. Okay, this was the very basic command. Okay, now if you want to run this jar, So what you need to use, java -jar and the jar name, so which is component.jar. So let's try running it now. If we run this, so what it is saying, no main manifest attribute in the component jar. So what exactly is the manifest attribute? So what is the manifest attribute? So there is a file which usually is created under the meta-inf folder and with the name manifest.mf. Okay, so it holds the meta information or the data about the data. So it holds the meta information about your files within the jar. Okay, so since that particular information is not present in the jar, so you are getting this error. Now let's open this jar and see what exactly is present inside jar and why no manifest is there. Okay, so let me create a test folder. I'll just create a test folder and I will move this jar to this test. Okay, now I'll go to this test folder and I will unzip this component.jar. Okay, so now since I've unzipped it, now if you see in the test folder, there is a meta-inf folder and there is a manifest.mf file. Okay, so then why it is saying no main manifest attribute in the component jar? So our manifest file is by default supplied when we create the jar, but it is saying no main manifest actually. So there is no information in the manifest file where you can give which class is the main class. Okay, so these type of information you can provide in your manifest.mf file. So let's delete this test. Okay, we'll navigate back. Okay, so we are having now two .class file. Now while creating the jar, how can you give that particular information without providing the manifest file? Okay, so what we can do, so we can use this command jar cf. As you know, cf is for creating the file, e is for the entry class. You need to provide that this is my entry class in this jar. Okay, we'll name the jar component.jar and we'll give my main class. So if you see the dot class, we're not using any package, so we can directly give my main component. Okay, so we can omit the dot class and we need to provide star dot class. Okay, so now you click it. Now if you see, our component jar is created once again. Let's create one directory where we'll test it. Okay, I'm moving this component.jar to this test folder. I'm navigating to the test and I'm unzipping it. Why I'm moving this jar to test folder? Because if I unzip it, it will again ask for overriding this .class file, because this is also having the same .class file. Okay, for simplicity purpose, I'm adding in the separate directory. So if you see now in the test folder, you're having .class files, jar and your meta-inf. And now if you see the meta-inf, your main class is present. Okay, now this piece of information you can provide explicitly from the outside as well. So this is not always the case that you need to provide via command line like this is my main method. So in your project you can create your own manifest.mf file and you can append to via command line as well. Okay, so now let's delete this. Okay, let's navigate back. Okay, and let's clear this out. So how can we do that? So we can create a folder. Usually it is meta-inf, but we can create with any name. So let's name it test manifest dir. Okay, now we'll create a new file. Sorry, delete this. So we can create a new file called manifest.mf. Okay, so now in this we need to write our main class, which is my component. Why it is giving a red line? Because if you write anything in the manifest file as a key value pair, you need to put an enter. So until unless you put an enter, it will not take that, it will ignore that value. So you need to put enter. Okay, so now I am writing my main class explicitly by myself. Okay, now how to create jar for this? So we can type the command jar cf for creating the file and writing m. M is for appending to my manifest. I'll name my jar as a component.jar. Okay, I have to provide my manifest file. So my manifest file will be test manifest dir manifest.mf. Okay, and I'll give dot class. So this has created my jar. Okay, over here. Now if you run this jar, java -jar component.jar, so this is running successfully. This doesn't need any main class from outside, right? Because we have provided in our manifest. Let's take a look in our component.jar what exactly it is having. So let's create a directory called test. I'll move the jar over there. Okay, we'll unzip it. We'll go to test and unzip over here. Now if you open the test folder and if you see our meta-nf folder is created, and this manifest is having my main component, right? So these two were already there and this got appended to this. Okay, so this is how you can create your jar file and run it. So I hope you understood how to create the jar and how to run the jar. So there is one part of it is like, what if one jar is dependent on other jar and we want to run it via command line? So this part I'll show you as the second part of this video. So stay tuned. Hope you like this video. Thank you.